Hey, John here. So in today's lesson, I'm going to show you a really great alternate picking and legato exercise, so you can use it for both. And what's so good about this one is that it systematically goes through every type of combination in this particular pattern. And we're going to use this 3-string scale pattern, and it can be any 3-note per string and 3-string scale pattern. So if you do it in like the major scale, those will be the notes. And I suggest that you pick a scale that you're working on. And this is really good if you're just learning a particular scale pattern or have trouble with a particular scale pattern, because then you can also improve that as you do the exercise. If you do that approach, you want to do this on all string groups. So for example, if we do a B major scale, you first do the exercise on the lower strings, and then you go A to G, D to B, and G to E. But in today's lesson, I'm just going to demonstrate it here in B minor, and we're going to use this Dorian/blues scale mix. And you can check out this video as well if you want to know how you could use that in a more musical way. So this is a bit more of a technique exercise, but it's very applicable to your overall playing, because like I said, you can apply it to all kinds of different scales. And what this will help you with in general is to improve your ability to improvise with faster phrases as well, because we're covering what I call no stones unturned kind of approach, where we start on every possible variation in this particular pattern. So I'm using what I call the looping technique, but it's a bit more extended than that. And again, if you're not familiar with the looping thing, you can check out this video as well. But I will do that afterwards, because I'm going to explain this in detail, so it will be very easy for you to follow along, I hope. I'm not even going to use tabs or anything for this, because you should be able to get what I'm doing just by what I'm showing you. Now, the only downside to this approach is that it takes a while to do, but you don't need to do a ton of repetitions on each variation, because you're basically repeating the same thing just from a different perspective. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So why we get so many variations is that however many notes you have in your initial pattern, that's how many loops and variations you're going to have. So in this one we have 16 notes. We got, so you have 16 notes to complete the pattern. So that's our first repetition basically. But we're not only going to do that, we're going to combine this with another group of 8 instead. So we're going to do this. We're going to start from this note, and we're going to go up that far. So we repeat that. And again, you can do this with alternate picking, the way that I'm going to show it today, and also legato. And both are really good to practice, and they both really improve a lot with this approach if you keep the accuracy super high. So you want to get this as perfect as possible. And you're going to probably find that certain variations here will be way harder for you. So it wouldn't be the worst idea to remember those and maybe just, notate that somewhere, and then you work more on those outside of this exercise. Because like I said, you're going to have 16 variations here. So if you find that 5 of them gives you particular problems, it's a good idea to incorporate those into your daily practice. But also, if you just do this exercise every day, you're going to find that the sort of sum of all these variations will help the worst ones to start catching up as well. So you don't need to do what I just said, but that's not a bad way to do it either if you want to be more specific in your practice and maybe have less time. But if you have the time to do all 16 variations, I would definitely go for that instead. So first variation, then we're going to go up 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then back, and that gives us an 8-note pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do that twice, and then we do the full 16 pattern. Right, so here's our initial pattern. And I feel this is 16th notes now, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's very important. Now, the next pattern just starts on the second note. So if we look at the full scale pattern, we'll go like this. right? Because we start on the second note and it's a loop, so we need to go from that second note of the loop all the way around to and stop on the second note of the loop as well. So the full scale loop would be. But again, we want to start with the 8-note loop first. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very easy. Just go 5 notes up from where you started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our second variation. And as you can see here, compared to this one, we turn the picking around now because we have down, up here. Now we go down, up, down. So even by just starting on all downstrokes or all upstrokes, you're still gonna get to work on inside picking and outside picking. So it's a very good systematic way of doing it. Hence the term no stones unturned type of practicing. All right, so that's the second variation. And if you find at any point in this video that like, oh shit, what happened here? Just go back and maybe slow it down. You can use the slow down thing on YouTube. You just press the cog and then you can go down to, 25%. But if you go down to 75%, that should definitely be enough. And also you will hear me speak really slowly. But we start from the third note. So basically, again, when I do this circle, think of starting on 3 o'clock on a clock face, and then you go from 3 o'clock all the way around back to 3 o'clock. So that's kind of a good way to visualize it. So when you do this initially, I think it's a good idea to find the full scale first. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? So that's the full loop, but then we want to do our MIDI loop first. So we're gonna go 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see here, now we get a lot of string crossings because we have 1 note here, 3, and then 1 note here. So this is great for your alternate picking. Then we start on this note, and now it's going to be very similar to when you do this one, but the full scale will be, feel slightly different because you have a starting note in the middle of the scale shape. So they all feel different. So, and again, this is only our 4th variation here. So. The 5th one. And now when you do this yourself, you obviously want to do each of these variations, I would say at least 3-4 times before moving on to the next one. And make sure that you do them perfectly. So I'm going through all of them here so you can follow along, so you can see that you get them right. But it's the same process. You just go up 5 notes. So now it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if you go straight back here, we need to add another note here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? To get our 8-note loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then when you do the full loop, right? So put them together. And then we are up here, and again we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I'm adding notes here, don't get confused. It's basically almost always gonna look like this when if we have 3 notes on a string here, it's gonna be 2 notes on another string, whether it's higher or lower. And that's just so we can get back to our starting point within 8 notes. So if I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, that would be, then I wouldn't get 8 notes. So I need to add this one, and if I would go too far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, then I would be here when we hit the start of the 8th note loop again, which again wouldn't be correct. So If you just keep those numbers in mind, 8 and 16, you should be good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's our loop. And then the full loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So again, I'm going to play this example again. All right, now we got this one. Same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm gonna just play the example. And then we have this one, which you might think is the last one, but it's not. And I'm gonna show you why in a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's not the last one because even though we played this note before, we played it only going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, from the 8th note perspective. And now we have the 9th note here, and then this is also the 10th note of the overall loop, right? So, and the difference would be that when we did the 8th, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But now this one will start descending. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So hopefully that's clear. I think if you just play these two back to back a few times, you will see the difference. But this is very common, I've found with my students when they try this looping technique on pretty much anything. Once they run out of individual notes, they think they're done. But it's not about the notes necessarily, it's about the pattern. So you can have 3 notes in a pattern, but the pattern itself might have 6 notes. So then you have 6 variations in total and not 3. Anyway, so we on this one now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then the full one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And we start on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Start on this one. Start on this one. This one. And as you can see again here, when I did this one, 3 notes and 2 notes, and then we did this one, 2 notes and 3 notes. So that's what you're gonna get when you get these 5-note loops in general. So, and we start on this one now. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we need to add this one again anyway. So if you keep track of each beat, it's going to be way easier. So you have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the full one is going to be 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, right? And again, just rewind if you find this difficult to follow. And then we have, we have 2 variations left now because we're on this note and we have this one left, and then we're back where we started. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm gonna play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And now this one, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So hopefully when I counted it out like that, it made it a bit easier. But don't get confused. You're not skipping any notes. It's always this pattern when it comes to the full scale. It's basically that pattern the whole time. It's just that you start on a different point. And where the pattern changes for us here is that because we have these variations as well. But that just makes the exercise more versatile and I think more interesting to practice. So that's why that's included. If you do this on a scale position, make sure that you do all 4 string groups, so don't skip that. So you do the lowest one, so let's say I do A harmonic minor here. That would be our initial pattern, and then we would go through that in the same way. And then start on this note. Do the same thing throughout all 16, this note, or this string. And then the last one, G string here. So as you can probably understand, this will help you see the scales way better, because you're basically looking at the scale in 4 different sections on a 6-string guitar, where you see all these notes overlap, and you also start on each of these notes, and that takes more scale knowledge than simply being able to, oh, I've learned to start here, and then I can go up like that, and then I'm kind of done. And once you start doing this, you start seeing these scales as scale shapes, like neck diagrams basically, where you can see all the notes, which is of course super important when you want to improvise, so you're not stuck with certain, that you have to play notes in a certain order. So give this a try, and like I said, this is awesome for legato as well, because good legato technique is all about the timing. So make sure that you try that with legato. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. And if you're still watching at this point but you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel, and also you'll make sure you don't miss any of my lessons. I upload pretty much daily and try to give you guys the very best that I have when it comes to improving on the guitar. Back in the day, I used to have real issues with fast alternate picking when it came to 2 notes per string. I was fine with 3 notes per string, but the 2 note per string thing was a bit harder to crack. So if you struggle with fast alternate picking as well, and you don't know what to practice or for how long, I've created the perfect solution for you in the form of the Pentatonic Picking Power Book. So in this book, you'll find a daily workout that will not only help your pentatonic picking, but will also upgrade your overall alternate picking technique. So it contains basically the same exercises I use myself to develop my picking abilities, as well as numerous students over the years that I've given the same exercise to with great results. So I know these exercises work as long as you put in the work. So it's not a quick solution or quick fix. It will still take a lot of work, but at least you have a very easy to follow routine. So if you're up for a big alternate picking upgrade in 2024, I cannot think of a better start.